Hey guys, welcome back to another Draw With Me video. For today's time-lapse, I am sketching a quick background study using a photo I took from the Portland Japanese Gardens. It seems like I'm still very much inspired by my spring trip to Oregon, and honestly, every time I try to fish for drawing references, I still gravitate towards these photos on my phone. Anyways, for today's Draw With Me topic, I wanted to talk a little bit more about making art while juggling a full-time job. I mentioned it a little bit in my previous art vlog, but as I've become more consistent with following a routine when it comes to making art, I wanted to share a little bit about my own personal experience and how I manage making time for art and balancing work. When I was back in college, for some reason, I thought that when I finally finished school, that I would have more time to make art. Honestly, architecture school was very demanding, and on top of that, at one point in my college life, I was actually juggling having 3 part-time jobs at the same time, on top of schoolwork and personal life. And it was really difficult to find the will to be creative back then, but I always reassured myself that once I graduate, I would have more free time. Fast forward to now, and boy, was I wrong. In one sense, I do feel like post-college life is a little less demanding, but if anything, I've realized now years later that it really wasn't about feeling like I don't have the time, but instead it's really all about your ability and willingness to make time for art. I found that even after graduating, I had a really difficult time setting a routine for myself to make art. I found an excuse to prioritize other things, even if it was a low priority type of task. I still made time for literally everything else but what I really wanted to do. And because I'm not a full-time artist, and because I spend most of my time at the office, in many ways my job really has defined my daily life, and personal life was just honestly whatever I can squeeze in between those times. So whenever I got home, it would be much easier to just give in to a Netflix binge and veg out on the couch than sit in my desk and try to come up with something to draw. It really wasn't until this year that I realized that if I ever want to make anything, that I would need to find motivation within myself to change my habits. The biggest thing really was changing my mindset about time. There will always be work for me to do as long as I have the job, so it really is all about how I manage and perceive my time outside of that. One thing that I started doing was I started setting calendar notifications on my phone, which physically blocked chunks of my evening solely just so I could make art. And I took this as a tip from work, where we would have calendar invites for meetings and other miscellaneous tasks, and I thought if I maybe applied that same idea but for my personal life, that maybe somehow it would motivate me and push myself to finish a task. It started out with just 30 minutes each night, and in the beginning it was very easy to forget that I had a calendar invite set up, so I would literally drag myself to my desk at 9 p.m. each night just to draw for 30 minutes. But a few weeks later, after keeping to that same routine, I was actually able to not rely on my notifications anymore, and I even would spend more time than when I had first started. So I really think that method worked for me because I needed a physical reminder to push myself and to, in many ways, guilt myself to creating or doing something that I want to do. And it's kind of sad that we have to push ourselves to do that, like something that we're very passionate about. But when you have a really long day at work, juggling your work life and your personal life and squeezing in any bit of time for art in between that, it really is something that you have to push yourself for. Otherwise, I think, at least for my personal experience, I just end up really giving into any other thing except for what I really want to do. And I really do think that it's all about training your mind to form a new habit, because otherwise you'll always find an excuse on why other things are more important. So here is the final sketch. I hope you guys enjoyed today's sketchbook time lapse and today's draw with me topic. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. For more art, follow me on Instagram at marcelcow_art. Thanks for watching.